Another unvaccinated Central New Yorker has died from flu complications. Is the vaccine worth the hype?
Potholes, they're a nuisance every year, but some say this winter's road conditions trump those of the past.
A California city is reaping millions from this taxable substance.
And an upsetting loss to Boston College this week, but will the Orange rebound tomorrow in Durham? All that and more, Citrus TV News live at 6 starts right now.
Warmer temperatures have arrived. I'm Amanda Harry.
And I'm Irfan Uraizee. Rising temps means melting snow and ice, but with rain in the forecast, meteorologists are anticipating flooding. Citrus TV weather expert Leanne DeRosa is at the monitor with our top story tonight.
The National Weather Service is issuing a flood alert across much of New York State due to heavy rain and melting snow. For Onondaga County, brief but heavy rain could lead to flooding in the streets and other low-lying areas. Temperatures reaching up to the 40s today may cause ice to dislodge, so be on the lookout for melting and falling icicles. Ice chunks forming on rivers may dislodge as well and float downstream. As the ice piles up, it could cause flooding on the land surrounding the ice jams. However, bitterly cold temperatures will be returning later this week and will refreeze the melting snow and ice.
Syracuse University and the Rescue Mission of Syracuse have partnered to collect recycled bottles and cans through a service mission called Mission Return. The proceeds from the bottles and the cans will help combat hunger and homelessness in the city of Syracuse. Based on current estimates, recycled items from the university will be able to fund almost 4,000 meals for the rescue mission each year. Yesterday, officials found a Utica area girl who had been missing for almost 20 days. The 17-year-old was last seen walking on the streets of Utica after leaving her grandmother's house in the beginning of February. She was found walking along Westmore Street in Utica. Police initially thought she may have been staying in the Syracuse area since her disappearance.
The Center for Disease Control and Prevention has reported the current H1N1 vaccination reduces the risk of the flu by 61%. The study also shows the vaccine to be similarly effective across all age groups. The flu death toll in central New York rose to 8 this week after another middle-aged resident died. The resident was not vaccinated. Officials say this flu season has been particularly difficult for young and middle-aged adults. A central New York school teacher who died earlier this year has left more than $1 million to SUNY College at Cortland. SUNY Cortland has never received this large a donation from someone's will. Esther King Hawthorne requested that the money be used to create a scholarship fund, but for women only. The university says it cannot follow this stipulation because it is discriminatory.
Central New York residents have complained about the winter weather taking a toll on their roads. Citrus TV reporter Sophia Borelli visited Baldwinsville to find out why town officials are taking the matters to the state.
As soon as you come into town, especially with me and my friends on our motorcycles, bam, you hit it.
Potholes along many roads in the village of Baldwinsville, including routes 370 and 48, have become worse because of the winter storms hitting the central New York area.
East, west, north, and south, you can't miss a pothole.
About 17,000 cars drive on these roads a day. Finally, community members complained enough was enough.
It's hard work out there keeping these roads clean, but I would appreciate it. We're all doing our jobs, so.
Exactly. You see people that have to pull from the driving lane into the oncoming traffic to avoid some of these potholes, and it does create a dangerous situation.
Due to the extreme cold, frost has been developing about 2 to 3 feet underground, and pothole season has a long way to go. The supervisor of Lysander and the supervisor of Van Buren, as well as the mayor of Baldwinsville, wrote a letter to the Department of Transportation to repair the roads. The DOT's response is that they are doing their best with cold asphalt repairs. They will make more permanent repairs when asphalt companies open up in the spring. Reporting from Baldwinsville, I'm Sophia Borelli.
The Baldwinville town engineer says pothole season would normally be over, but because of the bad weather, it could last about another 6 weeks.
Coming up, it's been a week since the buyout's been announced. But how will Comcast takeover affect your cable bills?
Residents convened to discuss their local Indian reservation until the meeting turned deadly. That story and more when we return.
I hope you enjoyed the warm weather here in Syracuse, but don't get too used to it because the polar vortex is bringing cold weather back to the area. Stay tuned for your full weather forecast to see when we should expect the change in weather.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it.
The only triple doubles you get come with fries.
Last time you blocked someone, you were online.
I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool.
Not cool.
Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people. And you're better than that.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
In 1977, an 8-year-old boy picked up the game of golf from his father. The odds of that same boy then making it to the US and European Pro Golf Tours? 1 in 7 million. The odds of the Big Easy winning the US Open twice? 1 in 1.2 billion. The odds of him having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 110. Ernie Els encourages you to learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
After outbidding Charter Communications' largest cable provider, Comcast, has announced its plans to buy out second largest provider, Time Warner Cable. People in central New York are wary of what the merger will do to their cable prices. Citrus TV News reporter Molly Smith has the story.
In an industry like media where a select few companies control the market, the proposed $45 billion merger between Comcast and Time Warner Cable fits right in with the trend. Professor Roy Gutterman of the Newhouse School at Syracuse University teaches communications law and fears that this merge may be much bigger than other media giants.
It's a lot of content, a lot of power in the hands of a real small number of people.
The big concern with this merge doesn't have so much to do with cable as it does with broadband and net neutrality laws. Professor John Petosa at the Whitman School is an expert in private accounting and legal practice. He explains that there are several factors that the Federal Communications Commission and the Justice Department must consider.
I think most of the time when they analyze these problems, there's a format that they follow, but it all comes down to what's going to happen to the consumer. Are prices going up? Are prices going down? Is it anti-competitive? Is there some reason why we shouldn't allow this to occur because the public's going to be harmed in some way?
However, Gutterman is not hopeful that the government will stop down on this media giant.
They've let all these other mergers go through, and I can't imagine the Justice Department is going to intervene.
Should the merge go through, the resulting company would have at least 30 million cable subscribers, just under 30% of the TV market share. Also, they'd have 38% of the nation's high-speed internet customers. If federal regulators approve, we could see the merger occur by the end of this year. In the studio, Molly Smith, Citrus TV News.
Time Warner Cable public relations representatives assure that they will proactively communicate any changes to their customers. They say subscriptions should not change much in the upcoming months it could take to complete this transaction.
The legalization of marijuana has been even more popular in the state of Colorado than officials originally expected. Colorado expects to take in more than $180 million in tax revenue in the first 18 months after legalization. The state has an aggressive policy on marijuana, taxing the drug 3 times during the process when it is produced, sold, and bought. Ironically, much of the money collected through taxes will be funneled into teaching kids to stay away from pot. And 4 people are dead and 2 others injured after a gun and knife attack at a Native American tribal office in California. Former tribal leader Sherry Rhodes was attending a tribal eviction meeting when she opened fire. After she ran out of ammunition, she grabbed a butcher knife from the kitchen, continuing the attack. Police found Rhodes outside the building, running with a knife in her hands. She was arrested at the scene. And a Georgia attorney has accused General Motors of failing to recall certain compact cars, despite knowing about defects since 2004. The defect in Charlotte Cobalts and Pontiac G5s has led to the death of at least 6 people. GM announced a recall of the cars just last week. President Obama and the Dalai Lama met today amid requests from China to cancel the meeting. In a statement from the White House, Obama emphasized his strong support of the Tibetan culture as well as human rights for Tibetans in China. Chinese officials urged Obama to call off the meeting, saying the U.S. is interfering with internal affairs of China and further hurting China-U.S. relations. Obama has met with the Dalai Lama twice before, in February 2010 and July 2011. And a scoring controversy surrounds the gold and silver medalists in the women's Olympic figure skating. 17-year-old Adalena Sotonokova of Russia won gold over reigning gold medalist Yoona Kim of South Korea. Many are questioning the outcome, though. One of the scoring board members was suspended 16 years ago for fixing an Olympic event, and another is married to the head of the Russian Figure Skating Federation. Many competitors who skated clean programs finished behind skaters who fell or failed to land jumps. Anti-government protesters in Venezuela have been rallying around the death of a beauty queen. 22-year-old Genesis Carmona is dead after being shot during a protest. A photo of her being transported to the hospital on a motorcycle has been fueling the protests, particularly among youths. Carmona died from the gunshot to the head. 6 have died since protests turned violent last week. Following the deadliest day of protests in Kiev, the Ukrainian president has signed a deal with opposition leaders to end the crisis. The deal would limit the president's powers and call for the revision of the constitution. President Viktor Yanukovych met with opposition leaders and representatives from the European Union. The crisis began in November when Yanukovych denied a EU-oriented trade deal favoring ties with Russia.
Coming up, we'll have your full weather forecast and find out what celebrity might be pregnant. We'll be right back.
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
Today, about 1 in 5 Americans is living with a disability. Over 50 million people, including many of our friends and neighbors, teachers and co-workers, heroes and leaders. 20 years ago, the Americans with Disabilities Act guaranteed every person the right to live, work, and participate fully in the American experience. We've come a long way since then, and we are committed to making even more progress in the years ahead. Visit disability.gov to see how you can help.
Well, the temperatures have been warming up, but will these warm temperatures stay with us? Leanne DeRosa has our full weather forecast.
Yeah, it was beautiful here in Syracuse these past few days. Temperatures reaching in the upper 30s, even maybe lower 40s. Rain, which was quite unusual compared to all the snow we've recently gotten, but that warm weather's not going to stick around too much longer. For your weekend, you can see tonight we'll have temperatures at the low of 33, still a lot warmer than we've had in a while, which is nice. Partly cloudy, that rain will taper off as we move on into the evening. Moving to tomorrow morning, some sun. You'll see a few clouds and a few sun, a little bit of rain developing later on into the afternoon. Temperatures reaching the mid to upper 30s. Again, it'll be nice warmer weather, but again, don't get too used to it, because moving on, you can see we have rain all the way across the board. That's currently for the next 48 hours, but that will taper off and move further east, and we should see some sun tomorrow. Will develop into rain showers later in the afternoon. The polar vortex is coming back, and this is what I was talking about. Those bitterly cold temperatures are reaching down further into the northeast, and that will affect us the beginning, even middle, later end of the week. Probably around Thursday, we'll see the very, very cold negative temperatures reaching below zero. As our 5-day forecast shows us, snow is coming back towards the end of the week, so be prepared. That rain is gone. Those melting icicles and the melting snow will halt because the temperatures are going to start to drop consistently. Again, tomorrow will probably be our last day with really warm temperatures up in the 40s, and we'll reach the 20s as we move on into the week.
Leanne, you mentioned that the polar vortex is going to be on its way back. To what extent, how severe could it be?
Well, you'll start to see temperatures in the 20s as we reach Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but by Thursday, temperatures will really start to dip down to close to zero, maybe even below zero.
With the weather warming up, are these icicles melting? They pose a danger to people?
They do. A lot of people have, seen icicles falling. My friend, her windshield was completely shattered by a falling icicle. You don't think they're that big or harmful, and they really are, so be careful. They will refreeze, though, once the temperatures start to dip back down.
Well, thank you very much, Leanne. Singer Christina Aguilera recently announced her engagement to her boyfriend, Matt Rutler. And according to a source close to her, she's also expecting her second child. It is her first child with Rutler. She had her other first child with ex-husband Jordan Bratman. Aguilera was eager to announce the news of her engagement, but has not announced anything in regards to a potential pregnancy. Paramount Studios has announced a new Anchorman 2 will be released in theaters. The film will be available in theaters for a week starting February 28th. The new version will have the same plot as the original Anchorman 2, but will have over 700 new jokes. It is being advertised as a supersized R-rated version. A hairstylist is suing rapper Nicki Minaj for $30 million. An Atlanta hairstylist filed a lawsuit claiming that Minaj stole his wigs and discouraged him from a potential reality show deal. He started working for Minaj in 2010 when she was just starting to gain popularity. She has since become well known for her sense of style and is the first lady of record label Young Money Entertainment.
Coming up in sports, in men's Olympic hockey, the USA and Canada square off with a spot in the gold medal game on the line. And we head to the hardwood and get you ready for Syracuse's weekend matchup with number 5 Duke. Keep it right here.
Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Today, about 1 in 5 Americans is living with a disability. Over 50 million people, including many of our friends and neighbors, teachers and co-workers, heroes and leaders. 20 years ago, the Americans with Disabilities Act guaranteed every person the right to live, work, and participate fully in the American experience. We've come a long way since then, and we are committed to making even more progress in the years ahead. Visit disability.gov to see how you can help.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. You know, I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Hey, my name's Katie and I'm in the 9th grade. I'm an A average student and I'm an athlete working towards a scholarship. And everybody tells me how much potential I have. But I just wish someone would tell me where my next meal is coming from. Katie, how'd I do?
Do you have to be so serious?
Well, I mean, I did like a crazy dance in a movie if you want me to do a little, no.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Let's get you your sports update. Let's start with some Olympic hockey action. At the Vancouver Games in 2010, Canada's men's hockey team edged the USA 3-2 in overtime to take the gold medal. After 4 years of waiting, the U.S. got its chance at revenge this afternoon as the two North American nations squared off for a spot in the Olympic final. Unfortunately for the Americans, it was a different year, but the same result. The U.S. falls to Canada 1-0. A second period goal from forward Jamie Benn would be all the Canadians needed. Goalie Carey Price made 31 saves to shut out the USA. American forward Zach Parise was a bright spot, though, recording 8 shots on goal. Canada advances to face Sweden in the gold medal game on Sunday. The U.S. takes on Finland in the bronze medal game tomorrow afternoon. Now let's move to the hardwood, where SU men's basketball heads south of the Mason-Dixon line to take on Duke this weekend. The much-anticipated matchup that was supposed to be a clash between two red-hot top 5 teams has taken a plot turn. The Orange and the Blue Devils were riding high entering this week, but on Wednesday, the Orange suffered its first loss of the season as it fell to ACC bottom feeder Boston College inside the Carrier Dome. Then it was Duke's turn. Last night, the Blue Devils traveled to take on rival North Carolina. What happened? Let's find out. There's legendary coach Mike Krzyzewski. Early on, it would be good for Duke and his Blue Devils. Jabari Parker going hard to the hoop, finishes with the left hand, and then after that, it would be Quinn Cook to Rodney Hood for the highlight reel alley-oop. How about that? But North Carolina hanging in their second half now. Marcus Page, nice move in the deep 3. That cuts the Duke lead to just 1. And then it would be James Michael McAdoo here. He's going to finish the layup with the left hand. North Carolina ties the game at 60, and it would be the Tar Heels night. Too much Marcus Page, too much North Carolina. Check out that stop and pop shot he gets to drop. Carolina all over the Blue Devils page here with a tough layup. North Carolina is going to go on to win 74-66. Carolina upsets Duke. On the ladies' side of things, the SU women headed for warmer weather and a matchup with Miami this week. The Orange used a second-half surge to take down the Hurricanes 69-48 on Thursday. Sophomore Brittany Sykes led the Cuse with 18 points and 6 rebounds. Next up for Coach Q's squad, a home game against Pittsburgh on Sunday. And finally, in the NBA, 2 of the league's biggest stars went head-to-head last night. Kevin Durant and Thunder hosted LeBron James and the Heat. Let's head to those highlights. LeBron James in Oklahoma City to take on Russell Westbrook and the Thunder. Let's pick it up late in the first half here. Kevin Durant finds a streaking Russell Westbrook. Westbrook's going to throw down the easy one-handed slam. Oklahoma City down by 7, though, at the half. In the second half, it would be all Miami. Here's Dwayne Wade getting the steal. Nice step-through move, and the tough finish gets it to go. Miami up big time at this point, but the score would not be the story in this game. It's going to be in the fourth quarter here. LeBron James gets the basket to go, but goes down hard on the floor. Some blood coming out of his nose. Let's take a second look. Serge Ibaka hits him right in the face. That one probably hurt a little bit. LeBron would have concussion tests asked after the game. He would pass those tests, but head coach Eric Spoelstra says James's nose is swollen and he will be evaluated and the team returns to Miami. He'd go on to win 103-81.
Kevin, the SU Duke game, the first one was an instant classic. Can the rematch get any closer?
I don't know if it's possible. I sure hope so. It's interesting this week. You see Duke and Syracuse both go down to unranked teams within a day of each other. You think maybe both teams looking ahead to each other.
So we have the Olympics, this final weekend of the Olympics this weekend. What can we be looking at? What are we going to see?
Well, honestly, I was really looking forward to hopefully seeing the U.S. play in that gold medal hockey game. Hopefully they'll have to settle for bronze. They'd face a tough Finland team. You know, I was really looking forward to that. I was kind of distracted.
And are any other Olympic events that you're looking forward to? Maybe the U.S. can pull out a gold medal in those events?
You know, I haven't really been paying attention too much to any of the other events. I really got wrapped up in hockey. I was really crushed today when we lost to Canada.
So what do you think the U.S.'s chances of winning the bronze will be?
Well, you know, it really depends on the goalie play of Finland. Tuukka Rask is a great goaltender for Finland. He plays in the NHL. So I think it depends a lot on how he plays.
Well, thank you very much.
No problem.
One Girl Scout sold 117 Girl Scout cookies in a matter of hours. Find out where after the break.
And one last look at your weather. We'll be right back.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. Stop the texts. Stop the wrecks. Visit us at stoptextsstopwrecks.org.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
That's low. That's low.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. Stop the texts. Stop the wrecks. Visit us at stoptextsstopwrecks.org.
Learning how to kick flip 6 stairs takes determination. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
So, Leanne, what's the weather going to look like this weekend?
Well, tomorrow when we wake up around 9 a.m., we're averaging around 36 degrees, and we'll see some sun, a little bit of clouds. So it's going to be another beautiful day, although there will be some rain showers as we move on to the afternoon. They'll kind of end tonight, take a break, tomorrow morning, maybe some sun, and then they'll come back towards the afternoon and evening.
It's amazing, Leanne, because when you say 36 degrees now, my mind goes to like going to the beach or something like that, because it seems like it's so warm. You know, it's going to be really warm this weekend. It could get colder. Can you talk about the drastic change in temperature from the weekend and the rest of the week?
Well, it's unseasonably warm, which has been really nice for this weekend. We'll see probably 44 high tomorrow and maybe 35 on Sunday, and it's going to stay that warm, a little bit of rain here and there. As we move on into the week, though, those temperatures are going to drop a lot, and we'll be going back into the 20s, which I know everyone is dreading, and we will see some snow again. And you know, it wasn't warm enough to melt all the snow we have now, so it's just going to keep piling up. But that's Syracuse weather for you.
So how much snow, and will it get lower than those 20s?
It will get lower than those 20s. The polar vortex is coming back with a vengeance, and we're probably going to see temperatures drop back down, probably getting close to zero, maybe dropping below zero when you get the wind chill and you add in the wind chill factor. Snow accumulation, we'll probably see flurries throughout the week. Not sure quite yet how much that will accumulate, but we have snow spanning a few days towards the end of the week.
Well, thank you very much, Leanne.
You're welcome.
Well, Irfan, I don't know about you, but I am super excited for Girl Scout season to begin.
You know, I can't wait to get my hand on some Samoas.
Yeah, those are my favorite too, actually. And one Girl Scout in California came up with a very clever way to sell hundreds of boxes of Girl Scout cookies in just a few hours.
Now, 13-year-old Daniela Lay set up a table outside a marijuana dispensary in San Francisco.
That's a great place.
And it's a genius move. It led her to run out of her supply of cookies in just 45 minutes.
Well, she ended up selling 117 boxes in total, and people are calling her the smartest girl in Girl Scouts in the country.
And that's all we have time for you here on this evening on Citrus TV News Live at 6. I'm Irfan Uraizee.
Alan, Amanda, Harry, thanks for stopping by.
You stay classy, Syracuse.